Have you ever wondered what would happen if the most powerful navy in history had to fight, well, everyone else? It sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But for military strategists, it's a very real thought experiment, one that really pushes the limits of what we understand about naval warfare.
So let's just get right to it. This is the central question, the big one. Could the US Navy actually take on and defeat every other navy on the planet all at the same time? It's a massive hypothetical that forces us to really think about what naval power even means in the 21st century. So how do we even begin to unpack that?
Here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the case for American dominance, why they're considered the top dog. Then, we'll flip the script and look at the combined power of all their potential rivals. After that, we'll dive into what a fight like this might actually look like. And finally, we'll talk about why this isn't just a war game, why it really matters in the real world.
Okay, so first up, America's naval power. When people talk about what makes the US Navy so incredibly dominant, the conversation, according to a lot of experts, almost always boils down to one single powerful number.
11. That's it. That's the number of nuclear-powered supercarriers the US Navy has in its fleet. And we're not just talking about big ships here. These are literally floating cities, mobile air bases that can go anywhere in the world and project an incredible amount of power.
And this chart really drives that point home. It puts that number into perspective. The US has 11. The next closest nations, China and the UK, they have just 2 each. And to be honest, even those aren't quite in the same league when it comes to capability.
But it goes way beyond just the carriers. The US Navy has been operating all over the globe non-stop for decades. That experience is priceless. Their tech is absolutely top of the line, plus they have this huge global network of bases and allies to support them. And of course, the people running the ships are some of the most highly trained professionals in the world.
So, after hearing all that, you're probably thinking, okay, this is an open and shut case, right? Game over. Well, not so fast. Because as we're about to see, the rest of the world has a few tricks up its sleeve.
So if you're the rest of the world team, how do you fight a giant like that? You don't go toe-to-toe, that's a losing battle. Instead, you'd use a strategy that's called asymmetric warfare. It's all about avoiding their strengths and hitting them where they're weakest.
And this right here is the heart of that idea. The rest of the world isn't going to try to outbuild the US Navy carrier for carrier. No way. Instead, the plan would be to find clever, unconventional ways to turn America's biggest assets, those huge, expensive ships, into giant liabilities.
This slide really lays out the two completely different game plans. The US strategy is all about power projection, controlling the seas, being able to go anywhere. The rest of the world's strategy is about sea denial. They don't have to control the oceans. They just have to make them too dangerous and costly for the US Navy to operate in. And this is the toolkit they'd use to do it. We're talking about huge numbers of anti-ship missiles, super quiet submarines that are incredibly hard to detect, swarms of cheap naval drones and fast boats, and of course cyber warfare to attack satellites and communications. It's not about one knockout punch, it's about a death by 1,000 cuts. So what happens when this unstoppable force of the US Navy collides with this immovable object of a global coalition? Well, the analysis suggests the result wouldn't be a quick victory for anyone. It would become a long, brutal global war of attrition. Yeah, forget any ideas about one big, decisive battle that settles everything. This wouldn't be like that at all. It would be a messy, drawn-out global tug-of-war, a test of endurance to see which side could simply outlast the other. And this war would be fought on multiple fronts, all at once. In the Pacific, you'd see a struggle for control of vital trade routes. Over in the Atlantic, a desperate battle to keep supply and reinforcement lanes open, and in the Indian Ocean, a critical fight over the choke points to control the world's energy supply. So, in a war like that, who actually wins? It might not be the side with the biggest ships at the start, but the side with the strongest backbone. It will come down to 3 things. Logistics, can you keep your forces supplied? Industrial capacity, can you replace your losses faster than the enemy? And maybe the most important one, political will. Do you have the stomach to see the fight all the way to the end? Okay, so I know this all sounds like a massive, abstract war game, but why does any of this actually matter to us in our daily lives? Well, as it turns out, the stability of the world's oceans has a direct and huge impact on just about everything we do. Take a look at this number. A staggering 80% of pretty much everything we buy, our phones, our food, our cars, you name it, travels by sea at some point. And the only thing really keeping those global shipping lanes open and safe is, you guessed it, naval power. So you see, this whole thing is about so much more than warships. It's about the fragile, often invisible global system that our entire modern world depends on. A major war at sea would shatter that system, and the consequences for everyone would be absolutely devastating.
All of this really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In this new age of advanced technology, cyber warfare, and new rising powers, what does it truly mean to rule the waves? Is it still about having the biggest ships, or is it about having the smartest strategy? The answer to that question is going to shape the future of our world.